What's going on, guys? Another update from Quarantine Central. We are about to start our first project on the Silverado. Sorry, second project on the Silverado. First one was detailing the wheels, and guess what came in the mail? These little lights. I'm not sure, I haven't turned them on, so I'm not sure how bright they are yet, but we've got a project we're going to do with the truck today involving these lights. And before we get started, we got to run to the store real quick, so let's get to it. So of course we're out here during this shutdown shopping for bait, doing our part. I was thinking crawl looks good there. Got this bad boy here, brush hog, and then the baby pocket crawl. We're gonna try these out. So Walmart was fun. Everybody's masked up and they're letting like so many people in the store at one time, and here I am just buying fishing supplies. My son broke his rod last night, so I told him I'd get him a new one. It was kind of a garbage rod anyway, but this one's not much better, but it'll be a lot better than the one he had. Check this out. Truck looks good. All by herself in the Walmart parking lot. Well, one truck by me. It's clean too. Spike's looking good. Back spacer looking good. Let's get home. Okay, so we're back at home, and now we're going to start the project with these lights, and I'll show you guys what we're doing. So we got these 4 light strips right here, and I've got to try these out to see how bright they are. But what we're going to do is we're going to make some accent lights in our footwells. I've always liked this idea. We're going to basically hide this thing up in here somewhere, and whenever I turn it on, or I'm not sure how I'm going to switch it yet, but I think it's going to be when the headlights come on, it'll turn on automatically, so there's like a glow in your footwell. But if it's too bright, then I'll put it on a switch, that way we don't have to have it on all the time. But first, let's set these up on a bench and test how bright they are. All right, so we got a strip right here. It's got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 16 total, and these are I'm not sure what kind of lights they are, maybe 50/50 chips, I'm not sure, but they're linkable, so if we wanted to, we could link them up. But one per footwell should do. Oh, and if need be, I guess I can, depending on where the resistors are, I should be able to cut these into sections if it's too bright. We've got this RC car battery here, and it's a 4-cell, so let's see what kind of voltage it puts out. Oh, did that backwards. 4-cell, all 15.5, so 15.5 volts. So this is a little more, a little bit more voltage than your car will put out while it's running. Usually with the alternator charging, you're around 14 volts. So let's see how bright this thing is. Not too bad, actually. It's a little bright, but if we tuck it up, it's actually going to be dimmer than this because the voltage will be lower. And also, if we tuck it up in there a little bit, you won't see the actual bulbs themselves, you'll just see the glow. So I think that's going to work perfect just as is. Now we got to find somewhere to mount it. Okay, the passenger footwell was probably the easiest, so we started there. And I'll show you. You can see we've just got a strip running right across that bracket right there. And it's got double-sided tape built into it, so it just stays. But we'll probably throw a couple zip ties on it just to hold it, just to be safe. We don't want it falling down while we're driving. We're going to do some preliminary work on the passenger side. We need to get a wire from up here all the way back to right in this area so we can go under the seat. We can probably do it from here, actually, so we don't necessarily need to go all the way, but we need to get a wire. Actually, we might be able to go under the center console. We just want to, no, because there's a carpet gap there. We probably need to do it here because these two pieces touch. So this is the best place to get the wire into the seat without being visible. We're going to put the second strip under here, under the seat. We're going to mount it to the bottom of the seat, but we want it to be able to move with the seat as opposed to mounting it right here where our box is going to go. So I'll show you guys a little tip to get to the back side of your seat. So this piece here, your floorboard, just has a couple tabs in it, you see? So it just pops right up. And then there's one little, this side of your seat cover here has these tabs in it, and one of them slides down into this. like that. So you got to be careful when you're pulling this out. Make sure and lift this up. And then this cover actually just has 2 clips, one here, one in the back, and it slides straight up like that. And you can see them here, one there and one there, and it pulls right out. Now we have access to the side underneath the seat. I can push this carpet down right here and get a wire right up underneath the seat from my door sill. We got the front mounted, we got the back mounted. I'll show you the back under the seat real quick. So what we did, we mounted it to a crossbar. Let me adjust this camera. See that crossbar right there? Runs across the whole seat, and it's just like a support. So I just stuck the double-sided tape to that with the LEDs facing towards the back seat, and then added some zip ties to secure it. And so now the light will shine like out the back of the seat on the back floorboard, but from up here, obviously you can't see it, you'll just see the light glow. And then we routed the wire out of this under the door sill and up into the dash area. And so now we've got to tuck this, tie it into this, which is the strip up here, and then we'll run it behind the console over to the driver's side, do the same on the driver's side, and then we'll have to figure out our switch situation. So now we got everything tucked up and wired. No wires showing. And we got the LED strip mounted, and you can see we got the wire just ran back behind there. All ran underneath here, into here, wired up to the seat. And now what we're left with is on the driver's side, we've got this wire here that comes from right there under the console on the other side. And we'll tap this, we'll take this wire and we'll feed our power for our light here, run it under here, power for this, and we'll leave a T-branch out here somewhere so we can mount a switch. I'm not sure if I really want to get into this or not, or if I just want to mount something somewhere up under here. So we'll see about that in a little bit. So we got all the lights hooked up. We got the one under the dash here. I haven't, don't mind the wiring. I haven't cleaned it all up yet because I've still got to install a switch, and then I'll loom everything. We got a light under the dash. We got one under the seat here. It's kind of hard to see, but let's see here. There you go. You can see the bulbs there. Got it mounted on the crossbar. And just like on the other side, I've got the wires routed under here, under this panel, up into the dash. And then I've got this right now. I'll show you guys when it gets dark. We'll hook them all up so you can see what it looks like. And then in the next video, I've got to order a switch so I can figure out whether I want to put a switch panel here. They make like an upfitter switch kit that goes right here, and it's like a auxiliary switch panel. I'm thinking about doing that, but you know, the switches aren't that expensive, but the wiring harness and the fuse block and this piece of trim, it's going to be a couple $100 for that. So I might just opt for putting a toggle switch, a really clean looking toggle switch in here. So we'll see that in the next video, but to finish this video out, I'm gonna wait till it's dark and I'll show you guys what these lights look like at night. Okay, so it's dark outside, as you can see, and we got our battery here. Let's go see how these lights look. All right, so here we go. Footwell lights. I wish I could get these dome lights off. Let's see here. Off, there we go. Pretty sweet, just a little glow. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of hard to see from here. It looks blue, but it's really white. There it goes. Oh yeah, the back's lit up a little more than the front. Oh, the dome lights, dang it. How many times I gotta turn these things off? There you go, just some subtle footwell lighting, which is nice because when you're in here, you can like sit in the seat and your feet are lit up, but it's not too bright. You could almost leave this on the whole time you're driving at night and it would not be too bright. I mean, you can see you can't even at all, like there's no light up here in the top of the cab. Like right there, you can't even tell it's on, and you can see it. Pretty cool. So that came out really well. It was only like $32 or something like that. The wire, the lights, all 4 of them completely installed. All I need now is a switch, which I'll put in the next video and show you guys. I'm not going to detail the switch install because it's just going to be a simple switch. But I'll show you guys in the next video kind of what I did. But I really like it. I mean, you can't beat for 35 bucks, something like that. I've always wanted footwell lights too, so checking them off. With this quarantine, we're checking them off. We'll see you guys in the next one for the next install. Hopefully we'll get to working on these bad boys and get them installed next. So we'll see you guys.